Alright, today we're going to have a little bit more practice with this hands-on banking. You're going to go to handsonbanking.org. Everybody needs to get there. When your screen looks like this, you're going to scroll down and you're going to click where it says Teens. And we're going to skip the introduction part because we already did that last week, and all it really does is just kind of tell you how this works. And so we're going to review you and your money. I know that you guys went over this a little bit in class. I think it was Friday that we did this, or maybe even Thursday, I don't know. Anyway, I know that we've gone over this before. And what I'm going to have you do is I'm going to have you read through these again. And this time, you're going to be taking notes on what's important. Now, I will allow you, if you would like to do so, to copy and paste from here, or you can just go back and forth to a document and type in what you want. If you start in your inbox in email, and you go over here to the little white waffle, and then you go to, let's find Word. We're going to use Word. Some of you are going to have a box that has Word, Excel, and PowerPoint all in the same box, 3 inside the one. We find Word and you click on that. And you're going to create a new blank document. Alright. Now we'll go back to you and your money here, and we're just going to kind of read through this. They've got some driving questions here. In this lesson, we're going to take a look at money itself, or hard currency. Where does it come from? What do banks do with money, especially your money? Okay, is there anything important in that statement? What's important there? Yeah, tell me. Just tell me. Okay, you're questioning, right? Yeah. So they are kind of getting you to question where does it come from, what do banks do with it, and especially if it's yours. So what you can do is you can click and drag on that, and then you can right click on it and you can copy those. You don't have to retype it. And then you can go to your document, which is right here, and then you can paste it. Now, sometimes it says your browser can't access the clipboard, so use these shortcuts. It says for cut, Control X, copy, Control C, and paste, Control V. So we're going to use a Control V, and we're going to paste it there. And then we've got some questions there, and what you're going to do is you're going to read through the lesson, and you're going to answer those questions with the notes that you take. Let's go back here. Alright, it says, we'll also take a look at the concept of value, how value is a good way to decide whether you want to buy something or not. Finally, we'll look at what we can do now to earn more money later. Okay, so what are some important things that I just said there?
We can make money later.
Okay, so we're going to look at what we can do now to earn more money later. Okay, what about this statement right here? We'll also look at the concept of value. Is there anything important there?
Value.
Value. How do we know value is important in that statement?
It's bold letters.
Bold print. Anytime you see stuff in bold print, that tells you we really want you to know what this is. Okay, so we said that value then is important. And I guess, what do you think we need to highlight with that? Does this help right here, how value is a good way to decide whether you want to buy something or not?
Yeah, because that's the definition.
Okay, yeah, that kind of helps you. Well, I don't know if it's really a good definition, but it really helps you to kind of explain it. All right, so let's just copy that right there. You're going to right click on it and copy it. We're going to take it to our document, And remember, well, is it going to let me right click? Yeah, it's going to let me right click and paste. No, it's not. So we still have to use the control, where's it at? Control V. There you go. All right, and now let's go back here. And it says, finally, we'll look at what we can do now to earn more money later. So let's just copy that right there, because these are kind of what we would call the objectives of what we're reading for in this section. So let's right click on that and copy it and go back to our document, and we're going to right click and paste it, and again it's going to tell me to use Control V, so stop doing that. Okay, so that's our first little page right there, and it says click next, so let's click next and go to the next page. Alright, let's see. Do you see some things that stand out to you right there that you would need to take notes on?
Currency.
Currency, what else?
Value.
How we measure value in cash and coins. Alright, there's a statement that goes with that. It says money is how we measure value, and the cash and coins is also called currency. So what is currency? What's
pretty much like money.
Okay, it tells you right here, cash and coins, also called currency. Alright, you see that that's in there? It's defining it for you. This time it defined it before it gave you the term. A lot of times when you see terms it would say currency or the cash and coins. But this time it said the cash and coins, also called currency. So you have to be careful when you read. Alright, let's see, are what we use every day to pay for goods and services. Alright, so now, here's what I was meaning whenever I told you if you would like to copy and paste the whole thing, you can do that. This whole little section right here, this whole paragraph and explanation. So we're going to right click and drag and copy this. Right click and copy, I meant. Now we're going to take it to our document, and we're going to right click. No, we're not. We're going to Control V. I got to stop doing that. Okay, now there's a lot of stuff here, a lot of words that are just going to kind of get in your way. So let's find the important ones and highlight them. So what do you think we should highlight in this first little paragraph here? Okay, the currency part. Okay, so what is currency? Cash and coins, right? Alright, so we can just highlight cash and coins, also called currency, and then we can use our highlighter to highlight that, because that's important. Now there's another statement in there that we kind of need. What is it?
Most countries have their own.
No, we're still in the first paragraph, still in the first one.
Value, the measure.
Money
how
is
to
how we measure value.
Money is how we measure value. Good. But we don't need all that other stuff. We just want this stuff that's really important to pop and stand out so we can see it. Alright, now, the second paragraph. What's important in there?
Most countries have their own currency.
Okay, alright, there you go. And then they give you some examples. So this one right here, we might want to highlight the whole thing on that one.
Yeah.
Alright, now does everyone see how to read through here, find what matters, and again, you can copy and paste. You do not have to retype this stuff. That's one of the cool things about technology. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. You can copy, you can paste, you don't have to type it again. Yes?
Isn't that like, what do you call it? Isn't that, like, you're not, is that like illegal, like, to make something, like, give something
Okay,
out
you're talking about plagiarism. You're not writing a paper on this. You're taking notes. Taking notes is not plagiarism. Writing a paper and presenting the information as your own without telling where you got the information from, that is plagiarism. Okay, so taking notes is different. If you're going to take notes, that's one, that's just where you're gathering information that you're going to use to either study from or to compose something with. But it is not plagiarism to copy something down that you need for your notes. But that was a really good question. I'm glad you asked that. Let's see. Let's go back to what money is. Let's see. It says, ever wonder where all these coins and bills come from in the U.S.? Well, it's created or minted by the Treasury of the federal government. What were our questions at the beginning here? What was our very first question?
Where does value come from? Or
Where does what come from? Money. Where does money come from? That was one of our questions, right?
Yes.
And that statement right there, did that not just answer it?
Yeah.
Okay. So what we need to do then is, you might want to say it's created or minted. That might be the important thing. And maybe this part right here, how the Treasury carefully controls how many dollars. So let's right click on that and copy it and paste that into our document. Control V. See, I'm learning. All right. Now, what is created or minted?
Money.
What's it? Okay. So let's get rid of it is and say money is. That way you know what this is. Now, created or minted probably should be highlighted because that's an important term. And then this word treasury, there's not really a good definition on that, but that is an important term to know. All right, let's see. One of the things that we should probably go back and do is we need to give a title to these notes, and the name of this section is You and Your Money. That way you can have a name for it. All right, now we'll go back down here where we were. Let's see what we have here and what money is. All right, it says, when you think about it, money is the glue that binds products, services, and people together in our economy. The engine of our economy runs on the things and ideas people create, but money is what allows people to create and then buy those creations. What's important in that paragraph?
The part when it starts talking about
What?
money, the economy.
Okay, talking about the economy. All right. And it really kind of explains it before economy, right? And then after economy. So is it possible that this whole section right here might be important?
Yes.
It's phrased very well. So let's highlight the whole thing. Let's right click and let's copy it. Let's take it to our document. And Control V. I almost right clicked again. All right. Now, when you think about it, might not really stand out to you, but this part right here, money is the glue that binds products, services, and people together in our economy. That's kind of important. All right. And then right here, you might even leave off the engine of our and just say economy runs on the things and ideas that people create. That way you pay attention to the words that are really important. All right, so there we go. And then it says, but money is what allows people to create and then buy. So when you're highlighting these things that are important, you don't have to highlight everything. This is where you get to pick and choose what you want to highlight. And you can use different colors if you want to. Maybe you want things that are definitions to be a different color than the rest of the notes. Now, This is important to know how to do because there are going to be times coming up that you're going to have text that you're going to have to read. These are great strategies that you can use whether it's this class or another class. In this class, you're going to be mostly reading nonfiction, factual things. If you're using it in another class where you're reading fiction or poetry or something like that, you can still do the same thing. You can find the important phrases and words and bold print and all that kind of thing. And this is a way that you can take your notes. You will have them saved on your OneDrive so that you don't lose them. You don't have paper that you have to keep up with. And then if you actually take these and upload them as a file to your digital portfolio at some point, you don't even have to have your laptop to access them. You can access them through your phone. You can go to your digital portfolio on your phone and you can access your notes to study. Or, and something that we'll do later is I'm going to have you create your own Quizlet account. And when you create that account, I'm going to have you set up your own study materials there where we put in notes and things like that. Maybe we'll collaborate on it if it has that feature. All right, at this point, let's go back here. It says money moves through lots of hands in the economy. As you'll see next, money moves in sort of a circle and it always passes through banks. All right, is one of our questions, let's go back to it. One of our questions here was, what do banks do with money, especially your money? So let's go back here and it says money moves through a lot of hands. So maybe that's kind of important that money moves. Do you think? Yes? No?
Yes.
Okay. So we don't necessarily have to have this whole sentence, but maybe money moves in sort of a circle and it always passes through banks. That might be really important right there. So let's right click on that. After we click and drag on it, we copy it, go back to our document, and at the bottom there, Control V. And if you want to make a sentence out of that, you can. All right. If there's anything in that sentence, what do you think we want to highlight in that one? Anything? No, not really. Just have it there to look at?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, we have this whole section that we've done quite a bit through already, and then you only have this little bit of notes. So you found the important details in there, things that you can go back to and study. All right, let's click on this to go to how money moves through the economy. Now, this section right here was what money is and where it comes from. If you want to add that to your notes, we can do that right here. What money is and where it comes from. That was that section. And what section are we about to go into?
How money moves through the economy?
How money moves through the economy. All right, so let's put that as the next section of our notes here. And you can even, well, we could even move this down and put it above that because it has to do with money moving. So let's do that. How money moves through the, oh, what? Let me undo that. Where's my undo button? There it is. Through, there we go, the economy. Now, what I would recommend, your title up here, you should probably highlight that in a different color, let's say green or something like that. And each of your sections, you should probably highlight in a different color so that you know that that is a different section. I'm going to choose pink just because I like pink. And then I'm going to choose pink for this one because this is also a heading. All right? Now, at this point, are there any questions on how to read through this and take notes? Are there any questions on how to copy and paste and create your document? How to use the tools here. Here, let me show you this right here. Notice that on this one, the toolbar is down like this so that you can see all the things. Sometimes you might have your toolbar up where you can't see it. Okay, we found it. So here's what you need to do. If you shrink your toolbar up and you can't find it, you're going to go to Home. And then over here, it looks like a thumbtack. You're going to click on it, and it will leave it open. And if you want the toolbar to go back up, you just collapse it. But it is up to you whether you have it on your screen or not. All right, any questions? Yes, sir. What's your question?
I press load to get to that page.
You press what?
Do I press load?
All right, so what you need to do today then is you need to finish reading through that section, taking notes on each one of the little screens. When you are done with that section on, what was it, You and Your Money? When you're done with that and you reach budgeting, I want you to continue on into budgeting today. Now, you haven't read that section yet, but that's okay. You're going to follow the same steps that you did in here and just add that as a title and then keep moving on through it.